What if everything you were taught about Africa was wrong? What if there was an African kingdom so advanced, so powerful, so sophisticated, that when Europeans first arrived on its shores, they did not come as conquerors. They came as visitors, amazed, humbled, and desperate to make friends. This is the story of the Kingdom of Congo, and it will change everything you thought you knew about African history forever. Founded around 1390 in Central Africa, the Kingdom of Congo was unlike anything the world had seen. It covered the land of modern-day Congo, Angola, and Gabon. At its peak, it had over 4 million people. It had organized districts, paved roads, a complex tax system, its own currency, its own courts of law, and a government so structured and so sophisticated that visiting Europeans could barely believe what they were seeing. This was not a primitive village. This was a civilization. In 1483, Portuguese explorer Diogo Cao sailed down the African coast and stumbled upon something that stopped him completely. A massive, organized kingdom that operated like nothing he had ever encountered. When he returned to Portugal and reported what he found, the King of Portugal did not send soldiers. He sent ambassadors, diplomats, gifts, because the Kingdom of Congo was too powerful, too organized, too impressive to approach any other way. What followed was one of the most extraordinary diplomatic relationships in all of human history. The King of Congo and the King of Portugal exchanged ambassadors as complete equals. Congo nobles traveled to Lisbon. Portuguese nobles came to Mbanza, Congo, the magnificent Congo capital. And in one of the most powerful moments in African history, the King of Congo wrote a personal letter directly to the Pope in Rome. An African king writing to the most powerful religious figure in the world as an equal. The wealth of Congo was built on copper, the most valuable resource in Central Africa at the time. Congo artisans crafted copper jewelry and ornaments so beautiful that they were traded across the entire continent. Combined with raffia cloth, made from palm leaves so fine it felt like velvet, and ivory from the vast forests, the Kingdom of Congo controlled trade routes that made it one of the wealthiest kingdoms on earth. 4 million people, organized, prosperous.
Today, the legacy of the Kingdom of Congo lives in the blood and culture of millions of people across Congo, Angola, and the African diaspora worldwide. Their language, their art, their pride. It all traces back to this magnificent kingdom that Europe came to not to conquer, but to learn from. The Kingdom of
That, in today's modern economy of Congo, still tells the story to the students of the school.